Welcome, and hello. Look at this motley crew here. We are Total Spotfest. We're with a returning in-ring correspondent. Ladies and gentlemen, one Mr. Austin Reddick.
Noted non-fiddler Austin Reddick.
Non-fiddler.
Yes. I'm the only one that doesn't fiddle with things because I ain't got logins to shit.
Somebody gave me a login, so I was really wanting to get the chat on here. Just so all of our friends on TikTok, make sure if you're on TikTok, share, hearts, follow, to see all of our stuff from our YouTube friends, like, subscribe, share. So we get everybody seeing what everybody's doing. Other than the fact that TikTok, we have to pay for it in order to get it to show up in here, and we're cheap. So we're just gonna have live up, and then we're gonna talk about it.
I mean, it's 2026. There should be. Austin is very blue.
I personally am not blue. My sweatshirt is, but like I am surrounded by blue. I got the Sin Cara lighting going on in here.
You do. Can I ask you a question, Austin?
Yes, you may.
Okay, you're blue. If you're green, would you die?
You know, I was trying to come up with like a fun comeback to that, but I got nothing. So yes,
that's pretty solid, right?
I got him. I was trying to work with the reference, but I was like, I don't remember like almost any other lyrics to that song. So like, I gave up empty.
And the funny thing is, I don't even think it says if you're green, you would die. I think just everybody just infers that.
Yeah, probably. Like I just remember the word blue getting repeated 1,000 times.
The entire lyrics of that thing are nothing but a muddled mess anyway.
So I'm blue.
I tried to make myself green, but it doesn't come across quite right like the blue.
Go back to blue. Jamie's blue. You're blue. This show is brought to you by Blue Chew. No, it's not.
Brought to you by Blue Chew.
One day, once we get Blue Chew money, we can have the chat and shit working on TikTok. That's the goal. That's the dream.
We need the Blue Chew money.
Yes, we're getting there slowly but surely. But no, thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us this evening. We got a lot to get to, but like Jamie said, if this is your first time here, please hit the heart buttons. If you're on TikTok, give us a big thumbs up on Facebook. You can follow us everywhere at Total Spot Fest. Why is my name there and then your name? Okay, whatever. I don't have a name apparently.
You don't need a name. Loser.
You suck so much. I hate it here.
Somebody got a drink from Hyper today, so watch out, boys.
Well, we hope you are doing well. So awesome. You were telling us a little bit earlier, adjusting to East Coast life, East Coast time. Hope we don't keep you up doing this podcast here. I don't know. I can't promise anything. But
tonight, like regular Dynamite will be fine. But the next time Tony Khan decides we're going to have a 3.5 hour Wednesday night extravaganza, I might die.
That's a very good point. So. Oh, all right. Well, I'm just gonna roll with it. Whatever. I tried to change my name, but it's not working. Screw it. I am the podcast. Jamie is the Jamie, and that is Austin. So, how your boys' week's been so far?
Good, man. Good. As I was telling y'all before the show started, we've got a fantastic little dive bar right around the corner from the house. That is not only a dive bar, but the place is literally called McStew's Irish Pub. So they went hard for St. Patrick's Day, which we went out for happy hour dinner and drinks, and they did an Irish meatloaf that was like half ground beef, half corned beef, and hot damn if it was not one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. And it's 2 minutes from the house.
Oh my god, sounds amazing!
So it was so good.
So boys, you can make fun of me now. I'm the only person in my house who likes corned beef.
How's that making fun of you? I can make fun of the rest of your family.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's on them, man.
It sucks because I always want corned beef, and like we don't do cabbage because cabbage, like boiled cabbage, is arguably the most disgusting smelling thing of all time. And it tastes about as what it smells like when I was a kid. But corned beef, man, I used to absolutely tear that up. But no, I'm the only one in this house who will ever.
Corned beef that's elite, is what it is.
Corned beef and cabbage is whatever, but corned beef hash, oh, now we're talking. Which is, in a way, even more Irish than corned beef and cabbage. Let's be real.
Is that
right?
like the blue chew of corned beef?
Pretty much.
Corned beef any way you want to serve it, except for, funny enough, with cabbage, hard pass on the boiled cabbage.
Okay.
The corned beef in any other instance is phenomenal.
And the thing is, I like cabbage and other stuff, like slaw, other things like that, right? Cool, fantastic, right? Boiled cabbage? That's a bad idea, Holmes. Bad idea.
And for the record, Squatch and Clint, we're not fiddlers. Like, I'm a fiddler. Neither of us are diddlers. Just want to make sure we got that under control. The more you know.
I wasn't accused of either. I'm just throwing that out there. That's for y'all to figure out.
Non-fiddler.
Yes, but it was definitely Jamie's fault. He was fiddling. By the way, Clint, I did want to show you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't wear mine. I wore my
hell yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
The machine.
So
there you go, Squatch.
Pastrami on bread.
Removes.
Pastrami, dude.
Oh man.
Now I'm getting PTSD back to the Fountain City Pro Show at the Comedy Club where they didn't have any more goddamn Reubens, and it caused me to order a burger that took 1 hour and 20 minutes to get to me, and it wasn't even that fucking good.
That's fair. I would too. I would too.
Yes. I'm with you there.
Okay.
Okay.
Down to Georgia around here. Yeah.
All right. Let's trucking along. Speaking of Fountain City Pro, if you had not seen, Jamie and I again attended another Fountain City Pro show this weekend. Did the pre-show as usual. It was a co-show with Central States Wrestling. It was a great show. It was in Leavenworth. We said our piece on what we feel about that venue. That's a great venue, but it's in Leavenworth.
It's a drive for you, boy.
It's a half hour for me, and I live in the Northland.
Hour 12 with no traffic.
Ooh. It was a beautiful drive. It was a fantastic night. It was a great night for wrestling. Our Clint and his wife were there. I hope your hand's doing better, Clint, by the way. I have no idea if it is or not, but I hope your hand's doing better.
It's like the size of a grapefruit. Just so you know, like Clint's a friend of the show, and I work with Clint, and I also game with Clint. Also, if you're on PlayStation and you want to play Division, you can play with us. I am my gamer tag's Nutcrumbs. That's correct with a Z. Great story, by the way, of how I got that, but we can talk about that later time.
That's a later story.
Yeah, so he's got a surgery consultation coming up, so all will be good for that man.
Okay.
He'll have a perfectly normal hand, hopefully in the near future, and then we'll look like Wreck-It Ralph with that hand.
Or JJ, when he was 22 years old. All right, moving right along.
22, 42.
Sponsored by Blue Chew.
22, 45, potato.
If only you would have Blue Chew back then. We could be going into an ad read right now and making lots of human dollars, as Dan Houser would say.
I might have killed myself. Okay, let's just be honest. Horny young frat boy JJ. No, I don't know. I had enough substances. Blue Chew is not one I needed in my body there. So, but that was a good show. The next show is coming up early May. It's not been locked down 100% yet. We will give you more updates on the next show for Fountain City Pro as it comes along. I know Moonshine definitely told us as well that they're looking forward to doing more co-shows as well. I know it might be odd because Austin, you've lived in several places where competing wrestling promotions did not get along like this. So it's nice to see some civility in the independent wrestling world.
Here's this is more of a snack of knowledge than a stash of knowledge. But I'll tell you why that is. It all depends on the promoter. When the promoters are actual workers, it's usually never an issue to work together. When the promoters are some dipshit that just came into some money and happened to buy a ring and is just like doing a show with all locals and stuff, and they just think they're a big shot because this is the one thing they have in their life that doesn't suck, those are the ones that fight with each other. That's how it works. Pulling back the curtain a little bit for everybody.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well,
JJ.
Yo.
We made a bet. Do you not remember the bet?
I don't remember the bet. What the hell were you talking about? Oh, we did make
I lost
a bet.
my bet, gentlemen. It was about the pay-per-view, which we're getting ready to talk about.
I totally forgot. Yes. Yes, we made a bet, Austin. And if Jamie lost, he has to wear. He's got to wear the Mark Stradamus hat the whole time. For those of you on TikTok, this is going to be new. Jamie has long proclaimed himself the greatest, predictor in wrestling, a veritable, third eye into the future of what will be, a Mark Stradamus, if you were.
Yes.
So
it's the same color as my other eyes, brown.
So thus we have a Mark Stradamus hat. So yes. All right. Pay-per-view. Yeah, we say this every time. We say this every year, but Revolution is AEW's true WrestleMania, right? I mean, it is just so good. Every year it is
best pay-per-view,
it's
but
so good. It's the beginning of the whole pay-per-view calendar for them, but my God.
I don't think it's intended to be. I think it just, for some reason, and maybe it has a lot to do with them typically not having a January or February pay-per-view. So you've got more time and you haven't had a pay-per-view in longer than usual. But yeah, for some reason, Revolution always over-delivers.
So it's kind of like WrestleMania was always like the biggest and baddest show, right? But everybody loves the Royal Rumble better, right? What? Is this too far away?
Yep, too far away. There you go.
Too far away. Whoa.
you were kind of quiet like this. You got. Yeah.
I just want to talk like this.
Hey guys. Yeah, I'm looking for a stapler.
No, but so WrestleMania is supposed to be the biggest and baddest, but we all know Royal Rumble is the best one. Period, except for this past one. Look at you, Hunter. But same thing. Revolution is their Rumble in some aspects. So
I think it's almost the anti-WrestleMania, because WrestleMania was always, not so much anymore because nothing matters in WWE anymore, but WrestleMania was always like the end. It was the final chapter of what had been going on, and the Raw after WrestleMania started what's next. Revolution every year seems like, hey, we're getting you hyped up for this calendar year.
Yeah, I mean, you're laying all the big tracks, right? And we'll get in depth here in just a couple of minutes about that, about people returning, people coming back, people coming in, who's going to be the party pictures for each of the titles and all the things. There are definitely lots of lay-in framework and all this stuff. And, we did have picks with this. Shocking, I know. We had very few deviations from our picks. To be honest, there was just 3 the whole time. So we're just going to go through this. Assume we all picked it until I tell you we picked differently, okay? So for 0 Hour, you had 3 matches. You had the obligatory dumb shit match, as I called it, which was, the Boom and Doom versus Shane Taylor Productions. We did get to see Wayne Brady slap a bitch. There was that. For what?
And we saw the Rizzler get pie-faced.
It was great.
I still don't know who the fucking Rizzler is. I understand he's with those guys, but I don't understand anything else about that child.
I don't know how they have a channel that's meant to be, I don't know how it does. They probably do more stuff now, but their whole channel is predicated on Costco food court food testing. There's 4 items on the Costco food menu in the food court. You do chicken bacon pizza, turkey and provolone, and a salad. You're done. What else? Oh, you got a hot dog. There's that. Anyway. So we had that. We had Willow Nightingale successfully defending her title. And there was a battle royal on the pay-per-view. The 21-man national championship battle royal. I know Austin is a big fan of battle royals on the pay-per-view.
Love battle royals.
Yeah.
I do gotta say, I didn't like the overrun into the show starting on this one, only because I had an issue with the stream on Max, as many other folks did trying to watch this pay-per-view. Right. So I missed the finish of the battle royal. I went back and watched it later, but I missed it live.
I was driving home from practice, so I missed it.
I mean, I think that if you're going to do they've been doing the overrun now for a couple pay-per-views, which I love the first time. I generally didn't mind the next few times. Please don't do it the next one, because kind of like the overrun for Dynamite. We got to a point where we're okay with it, but I think to your point, especially with the fact you're going from a free live show on YouTube to an actual page show, right? In that switch over, I don't like to see them continue to do this every single time. But
yeah,
the battle royal was a lot of fun. All of us picked Jack Perry to win, except Austin Reddick, who is picking.
I swung for the fences on this one. I swung for the fences.
You're looking for some Jay White action, which, hey, touche, but not to be. And then the show decided we're going to start, and we're just going to immediately climax from second number one. Let's just there's no edging here. There's no slow, there's no foreplay, there's no getting to know you phase. It is just wha-bam! Here we go. And I was rock hard. This was fantastic. This Young Bucks FTR, we've all said this ad nauseum. Yes, of course. Don't need it. But it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, it was probably the best of all the Young Bucks and FTR matches. And they've all been great. But yeah, this was outstanding.
So that's a very bold statement to say. And it's a very accurate statement to say. I mean, to say it's their best match, ooh, but then you really think about it, yeah, because that match, everything about it. I had to rewatch it because streaming it from my phone up to my TV with the talk track off was really awesome. But then I was able to watch it with it on time, so that was nice. That was really special.
Yeah. Tech issues were a definite thing, and
I better read it.
Thankfully, I did not experience all that, but so we all picked FTR to win or to lose, and FTR did retain their titles. We'll get into it when we get to Dynamite tonight, if that's the right call or not. And then immediately after this match, you had the first debut or return of the night with a returning Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. I know there's a lot of rumors, a lot of talk about them going back to do a final kind of push in WWE. I'm glad to see them back. What do you guys think?
Middle of the road for me. And I'll get into it more on Dynamite. But I've got some concerns with Adam Copeland still doing this in the year of our Lord 2026. That being said, if this heads where I think it's going to head, and I'm not the one wearing the fancy hat right now, but I've got a good feeling we're going to get a three-way ladder match between Cope and Cage, the Bucks, and FTR before too long. I'm excited for that. I'm not sad to see them back, but like I said, I'll get into on Dynamite. I've got worries about Mr. Adam Copeland.
Okay.
I disagree. I think him doing the work is awesome, but I also think it has to do with his counterpart in Christian Cage. because I don't know if you guys noticed on tonight, like they didn't really show his entire thing going through, but the very last word was asshole on there.
Straight to asshole. Yeah.
And the Christian stuff is great. I have no complaints there.
So there will be a bold Mark Stradamus prediction. I lost the bet and I'm rocking this hat for a reason tonight. There's going to be some very, very bold predictions coming out of this mouth tonight. Share it with your friends on TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah, you gotta double down. Your laundry's done, by the way, Jamie.
Thanks, man.
So after this, and again, I didn't rearrange the order here. So if I get the order off at all, just one of you yell at me.
It's fine.
You did have, so we had a total of 3 women's matches in this whole show, right? So you already had a Willow defending the TBS title successfully, and then you have a couple of Death Rider matches, one of them being a women's match. So after the tag match, you had Boxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. And again, it's just like, just keep it in attention because yes, this was fantastic. No. This was actually the third match. You had the women first. That's right. Okay. You had Toni Storm versus
Marina
Shafir. Okay. Sorry. Trying to get the order right here.
That was before Mox, because Mox got dapped up on his way out to the ring by Marina and her new.
I know. Yep. So this match was fine. Apparently, Marina doesn't need to win a single match, and I like the fact they're following through with that as well too. But unfortunately, this is not the end of the saga, boys, because you did have Rhonda Rousey show up after the match to level Toni Storm. Tony Khan's come out during the post show, said she is not officially a member of AEW. She is always welcome here. She wanted to be there in support of her friend, which I think is a fantastic load of bullshit. But what do you boys think of that?
So I see what they're doing there. Rhonda is still somewhat a Main Street name.
Yeah.
She's got a fight coming up in May.
True.
Now, how many people actually watch that? TBD. I get the bring in, but the post show where Tony made it clear she's not officially part of AEW, but she's welcome anytime, means they were trotting her out there to gauge the reaction and see if it's worth it to bring her back later.
100%.
Yeah, and to build on that, I think the crowd definitely said what all of us were thinking.
Yeah, it was like, okay.
I have a lot of problems with Rhonda Rousey coming out. Rhonda is publicly bashed wrestling, specifically WWE, which is fine. But she's bashed wrestling. She's bashed the entire business itself. She's also made some not so very politically correct comments, but hey, WBD will walk her out there and have her out there. But Trey Miguel, who apologized 1,000 times, can't be there. But Rhonda Rousey can. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that statement. If it is indeed what I think it is, which is more a gauge interest and, maybe put some eyes to promote her fight as like, a favor sort of thing, I'm fine with it. I don't really care as much. If she actually becomes a more reoccurring character in AEW, then I think we need to have a talk, because right now it's a one-off.
I'd rather take shock back.
It's for true, and it's for shock value more than anything else. But yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, I don't think she'll be able to get in the ring, even if she were to, until late May, because I think that fight's like May 16th.
Yeah,
and she's not wrestling while she's in a fight camp and risking getting hurt and being out of that fight.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Let's hope it was a one-off. Like, she was in the area. She's friends with the arena, and they were like, "Hey, you want to come out and just appear on a pay-per-view?" Let's hope that's it.
Tony's like, "Oh, a big name for a shock value on my bonkers pay-per-view. Yes, please." Sure. But to Jamie's point, it did lead immediately into the Mox match where you still had Marina do her dab up of Mox on the way out as he's coming in. I liked how they paced through these first 3 fights as well, too, right? It just like it was just continuous, which was so good, right? So Mox into Takeshita. Was it everything you wanted, Jamie?
Some bear shit in the woods.
Well, I mean, you're Mark Stradamus. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, they do. And
okay. Well, very good.
So if Okada is the Rainmaker, Takeshita is the Thunderbringer. He is something special, and all of us and their mother thought this is the moment he wins, and then here we go. We finally get the unification match between Okada and Takeshita, but it looks like we're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that, which is bullshit. But man, this match, it was just a masterclass.
I haven't thought about that. But Austin, I'll get to my thought in a second.
I had a thought about that as well. So actually throw yours out first.
All right.
Just in case someone thinks the same thing.
As soon as he lost the match, my thought is the unification match is going to happen at some point in time this year between those two champions. Those champions aren't going to be Takeshita and Okada, though. I think the angle now you go with Takeshita, especially with all the seeds you keep planting, every promo he does, he did it again tonight on Dynamite. Every promo he does, Okada buries Takeshita in the middle of talking up the rest of the Don Callis family, right? He's got to go through Okada to get that half of the title and then have the return with Moxley, probably at All In for the unification. That
was my thought too. So I'm glad I let you throw that out there first.
Okay,
so I just steal what you were about to say.
That's fine. I would have just agreed with it. It's fine.
That makes a lot of sense. But I feel like there was a curveball that was thrown into that we'll get to later in this pay-per-view. And by later in this pay-per-view, I mean immediately after the match we are currently discussing.
So immediately after this match, here comes the Blackout, and we get a video package, and it's Will Ospreay. Everybody's so happy, but wait, he's freaking here. Will Ospreay's back and going immediately after Jon Moxley because he's the one who put him on the shelf and put him on the operating table.
Yep.
So, does your giant British curveball completely derail my thought there?
I think it kind of has to.
Well,
yes. I think Ospreay has to beat Mox.
Does it have to come with the title? Because technically, he could beat him, not for the title.
I mean, he's gonna wrestle Mox. Like, why? Unless Mox loses the title to someone else, why would the title not be on the line for Mox versus Ospreay?
Well, if Ospreay wants wants a non-continental match, so he can do like a no DQ or stuff like that, right? Because the continental title has to be under continental rules.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems weird not to have the continental title on the line. They could do that. Like, that would at least inform the fans why the title is not on the line. But I think Ospreay coming back and beating Mox and not taking the title off of him is a bit odd.
Bit weird. Yeah, no, it is.
But I mean, also, we've been saying all along, like, Ospreay should win the AEW title at All in London. So, like, it's all up in the air right now.
Jamie, you want to solve this?
Yes, I do. The easiest way to solve this is I don't have an answer. No, seriously though, if you watch wrestling and you see somebody big come back, that the magnitude of Will Ospreay, he's not losing his first match. He didn't on Wednesday, but he's not going to lose his first pay-per-view match either. They're not going to bring him back only to have him lose at the pay-per-view. So if he's going to have Mox at Dynasty in Vancouver, then let's do it for that belt. He wins that belt. And does he close that chapter? Absolutely not. Their feud's going to go on for a while. And I think the plans of him winning it all in for that belt, I don't know now. For the big belt, I honestly don't know, because everything going on and the MJF promo from tonight. I gotta get into that later because Jesus,
we're putting a giant pin in that thing because that deserves its time.
I don't know. I will say Tony Khan's got me on this one. I mean, most of the time we do a good job of figuring them out in this show.
Except when we're picking paper.
I don't know where we're going with this one.
I don't know.
I still think Ospreay and Omega at All in London just makes way too much sense not to do.
Yeah.
But that's not till August. So like a lot can happen between now and then.
I mean, yeah, we're just coming up on, we got Dynasty now. We still have Double or Nothing between them. One of the cornerstone pay-per-views, you know. Is Forbidden Door
will be there?
Yeah, I was gonna say Forbidden Doors sometime somewhere in there.
I haven't announced it though, which is kind of crazy.
I'm sure they will for too much longer here. Or maybe they won't do a Forbidden Door this year, which
probably not, because Gabe Kidd might have just set the world on fire.
Gabe Kidd's post. All right, we're gonna put a big old stake in Gabe Kidd here. All right, if I'm getting out of order, let me know. But we did have to do the Most Dangerous Man AEW on the line, apparently. Swerve versus Brody. Everybody picked Swerve. Swerve won. This match was fantastic. Was good as well too. It didn't have the stakes in my head that the rest of the pay-per-view did. So
that was my only problem with them kicking off the show with the Bucks and FTR. Is
a long way down.
There were so many. I mean, the entire show was very good, but there were a few lower stakes matches that probably should have gone on before that, where the crowd would have been even more into it if they had not just seen everything they had seen up till then. This is one of them. There's another one we'll get to later in the show.
Yeah. Tekla and Chris Statlander became a 2 out of 3 falls match over the weekend. So we did get our 2 out of 3 falls. Oh, excuse me. We got my 2 out of 3 falls. I'm apparently the only one who likes that fucking thing. What happened to the hat? I thought you were supposed to wear it the whole show.
It got too hot. I'll put it back on later.
Was the bet to wear it for the whole show or to only wear it till it got too hot?
It's so hot. Look at this thing.
Oh my god, it's so hot.
That's why it was a good thing to bet.
It's a bet.
Yeah.
Payoffs for bet aren't meant to be pleasant, Jamie.
They're supposed to be mildly uncomfortable. That seems perfect.
It got so hot. It's so nice having you back, Austin, I will say. All right, so Tekla, Chris Statlander, 2 out of 3 falls. Tekla does get the victory. The match was good. The match was fine. I just hope they're done with the Chris Statlander Tekla story arc. Let's move Tekla into other things.
Yes,
they're going to.
Yeah.
Like you have to here. Like you've ran this into the ground. You had a rubber match. It was 2 out of 3 falls. Let's move Tekla on into other stuff, please.
And Chris into other stuff for all of us.
Yeah. We could definitely do things there for sure. So, speaking of the women, I know I'm bouncing around a little bit, but I'd forget the order, so bear with me. We did have the women's tag match on the main show. Now, at the end of Lena Cross and Willow on the pre-show, Lena and Megan Bain came out, jumped Willow, hurt her, right? So she's not 100% going to this second match of the night, right? And what did they call them, their tag team? Because originally on the website they called it Mega Cross. Oh, that's on the AEW's website. That's what they called them originally, but they actually had a
Dominion something.
Divine Dominion.
Divine Dominion, maybe.
Hold on, I'm finding it right now. I was
literally
looking it up while we were talking.
I know. So on our picture, it said Mega Cross, but I blame Tony Khan because that was directly from AEW's website that I pulled all this. So there's that. We all assumed that with the Penelope injury and them having to make a swerve, this is going to go the way it was. And sure enough, it did.
Yeah, Divine Dominion.
Divine Dominion. Divine Dominion. It's a good name. I don't mind it.
It's finally a good name. Finally.
Better than Sisters of Sin is a decent name.
Well, yeah,
for what
but
they
that's
are.
been there for a hot second.
I still like the Brawling Birds. The gimmick itself needs work, but the name is solid.
See, the gimmick's warming up on me. The name I still can't stand.
Gimmick's great. I love the gimmick.
Yeah. I just want them to be extra, just be more and more British. It's okay. They weren't on the pay-per-view. So anyway, Divine Dominion did pick up the victory. So they are your new tag team champs, which is good for the women's tag team division. We're moving that along. You did have a trios match. A tornado trios match with the dogs, the War Dogs, Clark Connors, Gabe Kidd, David Finlay versus Jamie's favorite Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. And we all picked the dogs and all lost that one. But this was actually a pretty fun match. It was a good palate cleanser as well.
It was a fun match, but I feel like the dogs are eating too many losses. Gabe Kidd specifically is eating too many losses.
Could not agree more with that freaking statement. Megan and I were talking about that like tonight because
we'll talk more about this in a little bit.
But it's like, what are you doing to them? I know you're trying to make Darby look strong, which good luck, but I don't get it. Like, these guys are killers and you're just making them look like just dudes.
I want to table this. We'll talk more about this when we get to Dynamite. There was what we all assumed was going to be the show stealer. And because of that opening tag team match, wasn't probably the show stealer, but still had me. I can't remember what I said in our group chat, but it was very not work appropriate. I know that. Andrade and Bandito. I love the living piss out of this match, even though it probably wasn't quite exactly what I was wanting. But I think it's fine. I think they didn't give you like the instant classic 10 star, that we think they can do, which is good because you got room for the future, because I want to see them run this back down the road with maybe a belt on the line. Just saying.
Yeah, this match was outstanding. And this is the other match I referenced earlier where I said stuff that should have gone before FTR and the Bucks. This should have opened the show.
I agree.
Like, I mean, and the crowd was still hot. Like, they weren't just on their hands, on their phones, not paying attention. They were still hot for it. But I think that crowd would have been 10 times louder if this would have opened the show instead of been way later in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the crowd could have been a lot more lava hot. But can we just talk about the dead weight 21 gun? Like, can we just talk about that? He did the flip with Andrade laying on the ground and picked his ass up from the ground and did it. It looked effortless. Like, Bandito is special.
Oh.
Andrade is on the run of a lifetime right now. And maybe a face turn coming. I don't know. Like,
I mean, the last 5 minutes of that match was what precipiced that whole text from me, because that was some of my favorite wrestling I've seen in a while. It was so good. And Jamie knows how much I love two moves specifically by Andrade, but especially his blind back elbow. Oh, and when he gets it in the perfect stride with the right dance partner, it is like he did it near the end of this match. It was just poetry in the way it was executed. Oh, it's such a good move, so good. It's a move that Chris Jericho wishes that he had.
Oh, he has it. He has it. He just doesn't use
like
it.
This. Not like
no,
this.
he had it at one point in time for a brief window, but he has not had it in years.
His is the very slow wind-up version of this, whereas Andrade's is just grace and elegance and effortless. The very first time I saw him do it was against Drew McIntyre, and I thought it was a complete accident that turned into a back elbow. But no, that was actually the move, and I was like,
yeah, it's super rad.
I'm just saying, Chris Jericho knows 1,004. 1,004 holds, man.
Mostly arm bars, though, from what I've heard.
Variations. For sure.
All right. So the show really came down, as far as our picks go, to two matches. Okay. We're saving the Texas Death for the end, but I'll let you know that one person picked the person who did not win that match. Okay. And that everything else, we were pretty much even along here. And we got to this trios match, and everybody picked the Don Callis family to retain the trios titles, except for young Matthew, who chose Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, and Mystico to regain / take them off of the Don Callis family. And young Matt was spot on.
It was crazy. Can we talk about how those guys are wrestling in lucha masks? And I'm like, this is the coolest shit ever. And I want them to wrestle in the lucha mask all the time now.
I know.
Together.
That would be rad.
Only when they're together.
Absolutely. Only when they're together. And yes, Mystico's entrance in Mexico City is some of the hardest going you'll ever hear in your life, right? Still not quite as hard here in America, where nobody knows the words to it, but he is now officially All Elite, so he's dual signed from the way I've read this.
Yep,
everything. He's still officially on the CMLL roster. He's their trios champion. He's now officially on AEW's roster. He's also our trios champion. So yeah.
Just like Cachacero, just like Persephone,
just like Claudio now too.
Just like Claudio.
Claudio's on CMLL now.
I mean, I truly appreciate the integration with CMLL. It's good, and I do like having Mystico officially on the roster. Right, I think that's good. So, and boy, was he happy about that when the whole graphic came up. Like, really happy. Like, really, really happy. Like, he didn't know it was coming. Happy, which I thought was very nice.
I really like the surprise title change. Like, I did not see that coming, but I would like to see the trios title just kind of bounce around a bit. So that was kind of cool to see.
Same.
I think there's several belts. We talked the TV titles there, whatever, but I think the women's tag titles and the trios, just shuffle them. Just move them around. Move them around every few weeks. Who cares? Move it around. So it came down to the end that Matt is in the running, and if MJF wins, he wins it all. And because of everything else, I'm the only other one who's actually eligible, because I picked Hangman Adam Page to win. I'm the only one who did. Now,
how'd that work out for you?
If it happened, we would have gone to tiebreaker, and I would have definitely won that because I had more time than Matt. But
that match was 39 minutes.
That match was ridiculous. I can't believe we all picked so low in hindsight. All of us. We were all below 30 minutes. Every one of us.
Yeah, because we all picked how much time it should have gone instead of how much time it did go.
100%.
Well,
that match was too long. It was good, but it was too long.
It was good. It also had the wrong. Did you take the graphics off?
No.
You just popped and popped. I think it's because we're both signed into the same account in 2 different locations. I honestly do.
Oh,
That could be it.
I think that might be a problem. We'll fix next time. But Hangman should have won this match. I'm just going to flat out say, yes, he lost. I lost. Congratulations, Matt. You are now champion. We appreciate you. Hangman should have won this match. I know that they're going to find a way to retcon this in the future, and I hate that. That's why Hangman should have won this match.
I don't necessarily think Hangman should have won. I think they just misbooked this match from the beginning. I thought it was pretty obvious MJF was not losing the title to Hanger here.
yeah.
The stipulation makes Hangman look like a dumbass. Like, bro, I said it weeks ago on the show, you're 2-0 against MJF in singles matches. Why would you make it a match that's anything but the match you've already beat him in twice and say you'll never chase the title? Like, there was no reason for Hangman to do any of that. Like I said, this match was good, but it was really weird that MJF just beat him in a Texas death match. Like, I think MJF might be the worst booked top guy in pro wrestling, like the character, just because he always just wins. He's the heel and the bad guy, but like nothing bad ever happens to him.
Kind of like Mercedes Moné.
She finally got hurt. She started losing. Every time MJF loses a match, he just disappears for like 3 months and comes back like nothing ever happened, and then he just starts winning again.
I'm with you.
So I will say this. I'm going to be the opposite of both of you guys here. I loved that the stipulation was there, and I love that he lost. And I will tell you why. Because, one, Hanger's going to take some time off. Need some time off. Cool.
Sure.
When he comes back, you think he's going to come back as a face? We're going to get heel Hanger, heel Swerve together. Just killing everybody. And here's the beautiful thing about this. Tony Khan on the media scrum afterwards said it was a gentleman's agreement. Like, is a man of his word. Well, if he goes all heel and crazy, guess what don't mean shit.
Okay.
And I love that. I love that idea. Because it just gives somebody like, oh, I said that bullshit. I don't care. I want this title. I'm too good. Blah, 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 blah. And then you can get a different type of chase. Like, I'm coming to kill you. I'm taking your belt.
I hear you. Squatch is actually in my brain right now and just typing the words that I'm thinking, coincidentally enough, because I think that's the way that they retcon it right there, is that, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit here, but Squash, if Super Hanger, Swerve, or super heel Swerve becomes the champion, he has to face Hangman. And the only way he can do that is if somehow there's a way to remove that step. And I think they laid the groundwork. Thank you, Squatch. I'm with you, buddy. I think they've laid the groundwork for that tonight. That's what I think. I was saving it for Dynamite, but yeah, you were right there.
That's a way to get back to it, but I don't think Hangman's going to be in the world title picture at least the rest of this calendar year, if not deep into 2027.
I mean, he's meant to be your top guy. He's the first guy you sign, basically, outside of the inner circle, or the closest. Yeah, he's the guy that you pegged for the very start. He won the very first match in AEW. He had the initial. AEW started with this long-term plan to give Hangman the title in this long route. It's You have put your cornerstone. He is your John Cena, your Hulk Hogan, right? That's what you have been planning on. There is a plan to give him this title back. And maybe it won't be till next year, but I
just think you've got too many guys at the top of the card that haven't held that belt yet that you got to shuffle through, and you can circle back to Hanger later. Hanger beating Mox at All In last year was such a peak moment that, like, you don't necessarily need to give him another run for quite some time. And I think by the time you get to there, they're probably well beyond the potential Swerve EVP thing, because I don't think that's something that can run forever. But yeah, like, to me, it's still just MJF just winning this match. Like, that doesn't really make me excited to see more of what happens with the title next.
So is MJF just a holder then? And Austin, you go first, but Jamie, I want you to answer that too. Is MJF just a holder of the title in the middle of the picture?
I sure hope so. I don't think MJF is as interesting as champion. I think he can have more interesting, like, personal feuds with people without holding that belt. And another reason why I'm not sure Swerve's going to become EVP and take the ban off Hanger is I definitely could see Kenny Omega winning and taking that belt off MJF before we get to the summer, where we get Omega and Ospreay for the belt at All In, which is what you absolutely should do here.
You guys are hell bent on Omega Ospreay. All right, Jamie,
that's the biggest match they can make.
It is the biggest, and
I don't disagree with that. All right, Jamie, same question to you about.
All right, well, I have a question.
Ooh, a question
that I want you to answer. Then I'll get my answer.
Okay.
In your minds, who's the greatest heel of all time?
Of all time?
All time. Greatest heel.
I mean, you know I'm going to say Ric Flair.
Okay.
I don't know, greatest. Like, I would have to think through. This is kind of like when you make around Mount Rushmore, and there's so many options. But I'm actually, the first name that actually pops into my mind is the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Flair was babyface at times. Ted DiBiase was just always a heel. He was always the bad guy, and he was so good at being one. There's probably better answers, but that's the first one that pops in my mind.
So perfect answers. Because I'm going to follow up with yet another question. When they were at their best as a heel, did they need a belt? Did they have a belt?
No.
I mean, the $1 Million belt's the same thing as the Dynamite diamond ring. So there's a lot of parody. Actually, I love how Austin did this, because I was getting ready to literally make this fucking point. So thanks. There is so much parody between Ted DiBiase and MJF. If you really look at it. Henchman, Virgil, War Daddy. They had beef. They went at it. Diamond ring, studded diamond ring, $1 million belt. But the best thing about those guys, and even Flair at his best when he was the heel, never had the belt. He didn't need the belt. And right now, MJF, I feel like, should be that transitional guy, because he doesn't need the belt, because he is their best heel. He is by far and away their best heel.
Just really quick, Flair literally had the belt 16 times. More than anyone not named John Cena.
I know, but he did his best work as a heel to get the belt.
That's
not
fair.
when he had the belt, in my opinion. I'm just saying that
I see where you're getting at.
Yeah. It's just MJF doesn't need this damn belt. And once we get to this whole EVP thing, which I have tons of thoughts on and prediction.
Okay.
I think my picture will be a lot more clear.
Well, let's just do this. Okay, so Revolution. We'll see you next year. We need a year to recover. Got to smoke some cigarettes, because that was it is their most bonkers pay-per-view they do every year, which we
always
appreciate. So let's get right into it. And I tell you what, we're not going to go straight through the show. We've already talked about half the show as it is, right? But let's talk about Swerve and Kenny first. Okay. Kenny did have a promo early in the show where he challenged Swerve to put his number one contendership, which apparently he has now, right, on the line. And a tweet then happened where he said counter offer. So out comes a little bit later in the show, Prince Nana, Hio Nana. God, I love Hio Nana. Swerve comes out to the ring and he's talking, and he said that, putting my number one contendership on the line doesn't do anything for me. What do I get from it? So he asks, he'll do that if Kenny puts his EVP on the line as well. Now, gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Swerve technically already an EVP? Because then he and Ospreay beat the Bucks.
They didn't become EVPs. It was just the Bucks lost their EVP status.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the only thing that my mind was scratching on there for a
that
second.
was made clear. That was stated.
Okay. All right, Jamie. Your head is sweating all over you there, and I know you got lots of thoughts wanting to flood out about this. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
So first thing, why hasn't anybody done this sooner? Challenge them for their EVP status. I think that's the smartest damn thing ever.
Because that's not how corporate governance works.
It's wrestling, dude. It's wrestling. You can fight for a manager. You can fight for a ring. Why can't you fight for somebody's EVP status that's not necessarily real?
Well, so like as Jay just mentioned, they did it all in last year, not to win it, but like to change the status of someone as EVP.
Yeah, but
I appreciate that this hasn't come up before, and I really hope it doesn't come up again in the future. But now is the perfect time and place. Like Swerve raising the stakes by asking for that is just very interesting storytelling. It's not a well I want them to go to regularly.
It's like that single shot little handheld gun you got there,
yeah.
Right? We get to pull this once. Use it at the right time.
Yeah. And I will say this. Swerve's promo about power.
Oh.
And having this power was perfect for this scenario. I don't think he missed at all. Like in the immortal words of Snoop Dogg, this motherfucker don't miss. And he didn't. Even in the clutches of defeat, he don't miss. Like, he just absolutely knocked this thing out of the park. And the thoughts of him with EVP powers and what he could do with it is absolutely scary in the best possible way of all time. And you are looking at your next AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
Okay. Austin, unpack all that, because I know you started to go a couple different directions with the EVP ship and how they can do this and who's challenging who at when.
Yeah, I think Swerve having the EVP power.
I'm sorry. He's letting it vent. Okay. All right. By the grace of me, I'll let you take it off for a moment to undampen, but you got to put it right back on.
Yeah.
That's going to smell. It's going to be so good. All right. Continue, Austin.
So I think Swerve with EVP power runs out of legs really quick. And then you've got to find a way to remove that from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they could have done this slightly differently, and I think they could still like make this happen. But make it where if Swerve wins, Prince Nana becomes the EVP.
Ooh.
I like that better than having the in-ring active competitor. Like we saw that with the Bucks, them just abusing their power. Like we've seen that. It was a different version than what it would be with Swerve, but like we've kind of seen that.
Okay.
Make Nana the EVP. and then let Nana like kind of on screen run the show. I think there's a lot of wheels to that. But I think Kenny Omega's winning. Like,
so get to that, because I'm gonna circle back to, because I mean I already talked a little bit. I mean, me and Squatch are sharing a brain tonight, but why is Kenny winning, and what's he doing with that? And what's that do for Swerve?
I think Kenny's winning, and I think Kenny's winning the title. Swerve, you can send in a ton of other directions. I don't think Swerve has to win here. And I don't think Swerve necessarily needs the title. Now, you obviously you could do Swerve and Ospreay all in for the title as well. That would also be phenomenal.
I mean, let's be real, yeah.
But I think Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay in Wembley for the title, like I said earlier, is the biggest match you can make for All In. And it just fits so well. That's really the only reason why I think Kenny Omega's winning. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if Swerve became an EVP. I just think that gets run into the ground pretty quick, and then you don't really have a good way to pivot out of that.
Okay. So
dude, come on, man. Give me 30 more seconds.
All right, let me say my piece. Let me say my piece and then hat back on. How's that?
You.
All right. All right. I think that you got a lot of ways to go, because you can actually bring the EVP forward, and Kenny is famously not wanted to use that character-wise, right? He has long said since he came back and all this, and he feuded with the Bucks, and he doesn't want to. He's not using the EVP ship, right? Swerve absolutely will. We know this, right? Yes, I feel this is the way that you retcon the Hangman situation, right? But that's going to take a time to get there. You don't want to immediately fall back on this, because like you said, it kind of, this would be a thing you do like next Revolution sort of thing, right? So would Swerve hold this EVP in his pocket all the way till then? No. That kind of defeats the purpose, right? I just have a feeling, though, I think you got, and I understand, All In, you want to do, I get Omega Ospreay. I get it. I think you could do Swerve Ospreay and be just as big, though. I really do.
I think it'd be just as good. I don't know if it'd be just as big.
So I'm just a chill guy on TikTok. By the way, if you're not following us on TikTok, make sure you're following.
Yeah, JJ finished his piece. Where's your hat?
Oh, come on, man.
Chill guy.
Real quick.
Be a chill guy with a hat.
I did stop talking.
Fuck. All right. Doesn't Swerve versus Ospreay sell as well as Ospreay versus Omega? So I mean, we're kind of already talking about that. So.
That's what I'm saying, chill.
This fucking thing. All right.
Funny thing is, you did this to yourself.
Now I'm just
really.
paying for it. I think Omega versus Ospreay just makes a lot of sense from a revenue standpoint, because that's just like, Apollo Creed versus Rocky 2. That sells. It's not as big as, say, like Adonis or whatever. Well, wait, Tommy Gunn versus Rocky. That doesn't sell as big,
and it wasn't as good either.
Sure wasn't.
I mean, like, also Kenny Omega's not getting any younger. And like, he's still got some gas left in the tank. But I think if you're going to give him another run with the title, now's the time as well. And Swerve will be there for years to come. He'll be a top guy and a champion for years to come. Like, I don't think you have to rush to get the belt back on Swerve.
Okay. So are you thinking put the belt on Kenny at Dynasty?
Probably Double or Nothing or somewhere in between, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a different AEW title match at Dynasty based off what I saw on Dynamite tonight. But we can put a pin in that for a second.
Okay. A lot more to come. The good news is we don't have to wait long because next week on Dynamite, you got Swerve versus Kenny Omega. Winner gets to be an EVP and have the number one contendership. So there's that. Show did open with Will Ospreay going up against Blake Christian. Blake Christian, who just 10 days ago got his All Elite graphic. And you're served up to a returning Will Ospreay. So still, though, it's always good to see Will Ospreay back in the ring. The Death Riders done cometh out immediately after. They had a match right after that, but came out a little early as they kind of like to do, and were met by Will Ospreay again. And you know, they're definitely running into this angle here. So every fiber of my being points to that title being on Moxley's hands when Takeshita comes back around with Okada's title. I don't think Ospreay has to beat him for the title. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying he has to. It's just kind of weird if he doesn't. Although this whole thing's kind of weird. Like clearly Mox was responsible in storyline for putting Ospreay on the shelf. So like it makes sense he'd come back, but they've also had Mox as kind of a baby face for like 2.5 months now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if they were leading up to this the whole time, why have they been doing the weird semi babyface turn with Mox? It's all been like the matches are good, like the storylines are generally good, but there's just some things that are just confusing. Like, why are you doing this?
That makes sense. Yeah.
I mean,
it's all great to me.
All right. So you did that again. You had the Death Riders then in a tag match against the Bang Bang Gang of Ace Austin and Juice Robinson. Good fun. Death Riders win that. You had a real quick Gabe Kidd video promo afterwards, which is why what happened later in the show is so disappointing. Okay. Let's get to Gabe Kidd, the dogs, the War Dogs, whatever, right? You talked about this, Jamie. Gabe Kidd's post show from the pay-per-view was literally him just burying the living piss out of New Japan. Company that a year and a half earlier, Gabe Kidd was sitting there praising, talking about his Japanese style tattoo he got as an honor of. He comes out 2 years ago in Wrestle Kingdom with New Japan themed trunks on to face Kenny Omega, and he just buried the living piss out of him. And this video promo shows you how good he is. He's a madman. He's crazy. He's going after it. So he just wants to start in the parking lot. So he goes outside, right? Here comes Darby Allin in his very poorly paint jobbed 97 Lincoln Continental. I assume it's chloroform. It was way too dark to be chloroform, but I digress. He chemicals in a rag, Gabe Kidd, throws him in the trunk, backs the Continental up, drives it, uses a dumpster as a stunt ramp, flips the car over, takes Gabe out of the trunk, and then wheels him inside for their coffin match, which wasn't really a coffin match. It was more of a shipping crate match.
Yeah, they couldn't get a real one.
That probably pissed me off the most. Okay. I understand you've done different coffins. There's a wood coffin. There's been like the full, like actual funeral home coffin. You know, the fuck was this, man? Serious.
It's like the Dracula one from, it
was the box that the Dracula coffin was in from like the Stand, or the Strain, whatever. So they do the match. Darby takes out a skateboard and a straight jacket. eventually he ties Gabe Kidd up in the straitjacket, beats the piss out of him, and then does a suicide dive to knock him into the coffin match, and he wins. And then he gets a microphone in his hand, and Jamie's going to rip this, just eviscerate this. So I'm not even going to go at this because, in essence, all he says is he's done with the dogs and he's ready to turn his attention to the world title. Jamie, the floor is yours, my man.
I'm going to quote a movie here. And
Shocker.
I know. Pretty easy. Hard pass. Like I don't want him anywhere near that belt. Anywhere. Because even in this match where he won, it was still a freaking Darby Allin match. Like, it was more 50-50 than usual, which, hey, it was what, 60-40 this time?
Yeah.
60-40, which is new for him. And honestly, if you watch that match, Gabe Kidd's the one who looked completely better because he was the one stuck in a damn straitjacket. But Darby Allin, I know he's like a great dude and all these things outside. Like, people say he's actually a pretty stand-up guy, which is awesome. But is he believable as world champion just because he does dives and he won't quit? He won't submit? No. Is he an underdog who might get a run someday? Yes. Is that someday in the year of 2026? I pray to God not. Is it in the year of 2027? I pray to God not. Is it in the year 2028? I pray to God not. Is it the year 2029? Maybe. I just don't want him anywhere near that belt. His style sucks. His whole gimmick sucks. I just don't like it. Like, I know people love it, and if that's your opinion, I am so happy for you. And you know what? You keep doing your things with that. But my opinion, and I say it, he sucks. NC.
Austin, that's a lot to unpack there, my man.
So when I said earlier, I don't think it's going to be Kenny Omega and MJF at Dynasty, it's because I think it's going to be Darby and MJF at Dynasty. Because Darby clearly stated he's coming for the title, and he called out Max. And Dynasty is in Vancouver, which is just up the road from where Darby Allin's from. He's a Pacific Northwest guy. But the more I think about that, the more I've circled around to something real interesting to do with Swerve winning next week and becoming the EVP. And I would not be sad if Darby Allin beats MJF at Dynasty, and as he's celebrating, Swerve comes out and says, since I'm the EVP and I'm the number one contender, my title match is now, and Swerve immediately beats him and takes the world title. I know that goes against everything I just said about Swerve not needing the title anytime soon, but that would be fun.
I like that.
I support that.
Here's my one crux with all of this. And yes, to some extent, I agree in part with Jamie. Not to the fervor of this man. This man has more fervor than I do on this. But I agree to that. I like what Austin says, too. Darby Allin has just been in a 50-50 booking, just no nonsense death match against three dudes. Why is he now in the title picture? You've got Andrade, who's been working his butt off to get there. Kenny's has sights been going for it. Swerve's been working on it, become the number one contender. I mean, you could say Okada's had better work towards that. He's a multi-champion, has been, you know. Why is all of a sudden it's just like, I'm Darby Allin, I want the title. Murr. Oh, no. You don't just get to jump into this title picture. This is the company where records are supposed to matter, right? I know this is 5 years ago. We're talking about all the. I get it, but still. And yes, I understand. I just pulled out logic, and that's the one thing I yell at Austin for.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for a second.
Please do, because I can't. That's bothering the shit out of me.
So Darby did beat Mox, which beating Mox in any sense puts you in top contention to some degree. But also, Darby just called his shot. There was nothing official saying he's getting it. But that being said, if you are heel AEW heavyweight champion MJF and you have the whole list of guys you just named or Darby Allin, who are you going to pick to defend your title against?
Touche.
That's my counter logic right there.
That's
how you make it
very
work.
Good. That's very good counter logic, Jamie. He's trying to defeat it. I don't think he can.
No.
All right.
I'm telling you, if Darby wins the title at Dynasty and holds it for 5 minutes until Swerve takes it from him, you check off the Darby was world champion box and you get that out of the way and you move on.
And you have the title in the right
I just
spot.
never want to check that box.
It's going to happen.
Hold this title at some point in his career.
It's going to happen.
Is it going to be like Christopher Daniels getting that run at the end of his ROH career? Maybe, but he's going to have that title at some point in his career.
It'll be the Rey Mysterio run. He'll get it just to get heat on whoever takes it off of him.
Yeah, they'll do a Kofi Kingston for him or something. Yeah. Or they do like this: they give it to him for 5 minutes. And I actually really like that idea. Now
that would be good TV. I would appreciate that.
That's really good.
Yeah.
All right. So Jurassic Express had a quick little promo. Okay, they have an actual bus, which is I love using the bus. That's fantastic. Mike Bailey had a little promo there. You have Speedball versus Mark Davis. Solid match. Good kind of middle of the show match. Then you had MJF doing just gold. I mean, yes, in person, his pay-per-views, especially or his promos, especially when he opens the show, are a bit predictable. But this, and Jamie's already talked about this a little bit. But this promo was unbelievable.
Career defining?
I mean, it's hard to say. He's had a couple of these that were like post-bloodied match that are some of his best. So I'm not going to say no, but I don't know.
Just when he's outside of his box, that's when he does his best work.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cuts much better promos in front of a camera than he does in front of a crowd.
I would agree.
Maybe that's why he's been acting so much lately. And it's good, too, because he's going to Disney World. So there's that.
Absolutely. I seriously thought when they did that, he's like, I'm going to go bang my wife, like something crude because kind of his style. 100%. And then he's like, I'm going to Disney World. Oh, that's kind of
we better get a kayfabe Disney World video next week. We have to. Him and his wife
at Disney World would be great.
Or just him like total character at Disney World, like fucking with kids and doing stupid shit, right? You know? You had a real quick Don Callis Family promo. This is where Okada was doing doing the slight of, if you notice, every time he does it too, the other members of Don Callis Family always kind of cringe and are like, oh God, you know? So put a pin in that. We'll see where that comes. You had Tony Storm get bloodied earlier in the day by somebody. We don't know who. They're trying to very, very, very strongly hint that it was Rhonda Rousey. Let's be honest. So Mina Shirakawa takes her place in a no-holds-barred match against Marina Shafir. To answer your question from a few weeks ago, Austin, yes, they're going to continue to book this until the cows come home, it looks like.
I think they might be moving in another direction with Tony before too long.
I hope so.
Because I don't think Rhonda Rousey attacked her backstage.
I don't either.
You think Mina did?
I think it was Mina.
Ooh.
And that's something fun and interesting to do with Tony that doesn't involve the title, to keep her away from that a little bit longer. And to hopefully get her out of the Marina Shafir orbit. Nothing against Marina, but like we have seen Tony and Marina a million times now. It was also really weird to do it just like a straight up wrestling match to pay-per-view and be like, come back on Wednesday. They're going to do a no DQ match. You just stop at that.
I know.
Yeah, I kind of felt like something was fishy right there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, so it seemed a little fishy, and then Mina won. And then it seemed extra fishy that this is her heel turn.
I like it. I'm good with it. And I agree. I think, and while I have no problem with Marina Shafir, right? I think she's come leaps and bounds from what she used to be. Joining the Death Riders, joining John Moxley has been the best thing she could have ever done for her career. I'm good with her taking a little step back to being the hype woman again for a little bit, right? I think it's good because I think it adds to her mystique, right? Remember that first match she came out with and just like walking through the crowd and the vitriol that people had towards her? It was so good, right? Don't overdo that, right? You got to bottle that up so that when it comes out, it's still spicy. If you leave it open, it's just going to lose all its flavor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, throw her in a feud with someone here and there where it makes sense, but don't have her wrestling all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And let's also not gloss over the fact that she almost killed Mina tonight.
True. She's come a long way. She didn't do a good job judging that table spot. So
she's like Aaron Judge in big moments. She just straight up missed.
Oh, too soon. Too soon.
Never. Fuck the Yankees.
He's an American, damn it. He was on America's team. America could have, yeah.
He's always a Yankee to me.
Always a Yankee. All right. Andrade had a real quick promo where Don Callis interjected via FaceTime, let him know that they're accepting a large sum of money from MJF to try and derail Darby Allin, adding credence to Austin's theory naturally, right? You know, for Dynasty. And Andrade was not too happy because he wants the title and he's confused by this, but he's going to go with Don and he knows this. And it does smell like a face turn, Jamie, for what it's worth.
100%. And he's so over right now with the crowd. Make it happen.
See, I'm the other direction. Like, I don't want to see Andrade turn face anytime soon.
I'm with
what he's doing right now is working to perfection. Don't change anything.
Well, I mean, he's still working face-ish. I mean, he's hanging out with like what Simone Williams, you know, of WoW or whatever. She's the Aussie princess or whatever she's called. But you know, like, and all these other wrestler girls taking selfies with him all the time. Like, he can still do that. Like, come on.
Everything about him just works so much better as a heel, though.
I mean, that whole aura is about, you know, the bad boy, you know, and you know, the bad boy's always hotter, right?
I don't know. My wife's like, damn, he looked pretty good at Revolution, and he did.
He's starting to look like classic lucha guys, especially when he's in the trunks.
Yeah,
like the way he's built, he looks like those classic luchas, like
he does,
like the middle-aged jacked guys.
Yeah. And I think the other component I want to throw out there is math, right? Look at the world title picture. Let's count all the faces we have and all the heels that we have kind of out there, right? You take him, move him over to the face side. We are severely unbalanced here, boys.
Well, when you put Hanger over on the heel side,
nah.
He's going to lose his ever-loving mind.
I don't think Hanger is going to be in the world title picture anytime in the next, like, 18 months.
Well, we are wildly all over the place in disagreement about this.
I'd say by Full Gear, dude.
Well, we'll find out next few months. I don't think we're going to see him until Full Gear, or at least for a couple months. I think
at least all yeah.
well, I don't think all in, but I think we'll see him before then. But I think a well-rested break is earned by Hanger. Your main event of the night was a trios match. It was Roppongi Vice and the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada versus Jack Perry and the Young Bucks. Yeah, again, this is the closest attempt to doing something a PWG. Primarily because you got Jack Perry, the Bucks in there. Match itself was fine. Yeah. Good spots. Do stuff you do. But it wasn't about the match, boys. It was about the after. Okay? So after it, they talk about it. They cry a little bit because they lost in front of their family, and their dad had to kick them in the balls to make them men again. And out comes Cope and Cage, or Cage and Cope, if you're alphabetical. And they let them know that, yeah, it sucks you got, embarrassed in front of your family, he hurt my wife. So we're going after them first, right? We're going to take their titles. The one thing that really gets to them, not just beating them up, but taking what they love most, their titles. Of course, Christian wants to get a lot of money. So they made it official.
Christian.
That at Dynasty in Canada, it's going to be Cage and Cope versus FTR for the tag team titles, at least as it stands right now.
One last run, boys. One last run.
Oh, there goes JJ again.
I'm telling you, it's because we're both logged into the same account from two different places.
I don't think so. Because I've yet to have this problem.
That's the only thing that's been different than other weeks.
I think Cage and Cope, I keep wanting to call them Edge and Christian. I think they're definitely winning. They're winning those titles at Dynasty. And like I said earlier, I think probably at All In, we're getting a three-way ladder match with FTR, the Bucks, and Edge and Christian. Might come sooner, but I think that's a good all-in match to put together. But pulling the pin out that I put in earlier, my concerns with Adam Copeland is he just does not seem to fit in AEW. Like what he wants to do in pro wrestling, it's so WWE coded that it just doesn't really fit. Even tonight, they did everyone hang on to the belts at the same time to show some tension, which literally got the crowd chanting fight, fight, fight. And you don't get any fight out of that. It's just everything Adam Copeland does in AEW just seems less exciting than it should be. We had this problem with the Mox feud last year. The match with him and Christian was fun, but most of what Adam Copeland has done has just ended up being pretty meh. And also, I'm still not past the fact that he keeps claiming that FTR almost broke Beth's neck. But we have seen FTR spike pile drive 80 different people, including the Young Bucks' brother, including one of the Young Bucks onto a table just the other day, and he's already back fine in the ring. Can we stop pretending like Beth Phoenix almost died, please?
Kayfabe, man. Come on.
In kayfabe, Beth Phoenix should have one of the strongest necks in the business. She was a Glamazon.
That's true. That's true.
I will say this. When all you know is WWE for your entire life, and then to unshackle yourself, using some of his words, it's still in you, man. It's just still in you.
Yeah.
That's all you know. Your pacing, the way you do everything is built that way. And the only two, out of Edge and Christian, he went off. So he gets it way better than Copeland does. He gets it way better because he did the TNA run. He did the other stuff while Edge was meddling us, and then retiring.
Yeah.
I just think that they're going to get their run. They're going to get their flowers. By the end of the year, he's retiring.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
100%. He's said before that he's not far off from being done in the ring. Not because he still can physically do a lot of it, but it's time. His daughter's getting older, right? And to be fair, too, there's a fantastic point that Jamie made there. I keep pointing the wrong way. God damn it!
I know we're mirrored, so it's weird.
I know. But when he first went to TNA, he was very much this as well, right? The original Christian Cage in TNA before he realized it, which was around the time of his heel turn, right? Before that, it was very much similar to this, where it was somebody who, yeah, it's good, but he doesn't really fit in here, right? Then he realized it. He made the heel turn, and he became fan-fucking-tastic in TNA, which is probably why he ended up going back to WWE and the ECW champion and all that good stuff, right? So the only problem with a lot of this, and it's not really a problem, but I look at this, I very much see them taking the belts in Vancouver. I get it, right? I think you're spot on there. Triple threat ladders match on the horizon. We're right now in the middle of March. We're about a month away, late April, we got Dynasty. Okay. When is All In?
August.
That's 4 months out.
Yeah.
From Dynasty. We're booking All In as if it's in the next 2 months. There's a lot of ground to get to before we get to All In.
Yeah, but
I think yes, the idea of having that match, just like the idea of having Ospreay and I think Ospreay and Omega could probably still happen, right? You got plenty of time to get there, but I mean, this feels like a story you're gonna have to get to sooner than 5 months from now.
Not necessarily. Like, you can do Cope and Cage versus the Bucks in a straight up tag at Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
And then you've got probably a Forbidden Door. And then after that, you're getting to All In. Like, you can stretch it out a ways.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're going to win in Vancouver. It's probably going to be a triple threat ladder match, as it should be. Then you can run it back, Double or Nothing, just against FTR, and then at All In, just against the Bucks. Bucks win it. Like, you're welcome. I just wrote it.
You could also do the triple ladder match at Double or Nothing and get to Cope and Cage versus the Bucks at All In. It wouldn't be as exciting, but it would still work.
It's the end game. That's the end game.
Either way. Well, they officially with this have started booking dynasties. We have one match officially on the books here for Dynasty. We will get more. Like I said, next week we got Swerve and Kenny EVP versus number one contender. So we're going to see where that goes with it. I made a mention out there. I sent the video to you guys here. We talked about this, that story through Cultaholic came out that apparently people in WWE, supposedly headquarters, corporate, are being paid to watch AEW.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fantastic job. How do we get it? Because we're already doing it. B, does that even matter? Because they haven't really tried to do anything AEW related. Are they just trying to keep an eye on? I understand the thought behind it, but see, now you just did it there too.
First time.
Yeah, you got blanked.
So I'm 2-1 to you. Whatever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was surprised this was a story because I saw it broke out. People at WWE, part of their job is to watch AEW. My thought was, yeah, why wouldn't they have somebody watching the second biggest promotion in the country? Probably more than anything, just to keep an eye on talent.
Yep.
But also keep an eye on anything crowds are really reacting to, anything that's getting over. Like, be aware of what's going on. That just seems like something you should probably do. Is just keep an eye on what else is going on in the business.
I mean, every team does film study, right, Jamie?
Yeah,
100%. I see this as we need to see what they're doing that's making them successful, and then also, hey, we need to start understanding that their team and their bench strength, so then I could possibly take one of them once it's up, because they do have a few people that are getting close. I mean, Anna Jay, she's supposed to be due up anytime now, but don't know what's up with her. There's a few of the men that are coming up. Private Party is supposed to be coming up here shortly. Would they be willing to go? But the best way to know is like how the crowds are reacting to them there, because if they're getting very minimal pop or anything like that, WWE probably wouldn't give them time of day. But if they're getting good pop, everything like that, and they've kind of see, we can train them to be the WWE way. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. How do you think Stephanie Vaquer got signed?
100%.
True.
And also, during the entire Attitude Era, do you not think they had employees at Titan Towers that were watching Nitro every week?
Oh, like, absolutely.
Hey, whose contract's coming up? Who's doing well over there? Who could we use?
What story are they running? What can we run that's semi-similar that would people buy?
We've long heard that about this story, about how they do this, and how people, and even wrestlers will watch the other promotions in the backstage and do all that stuff, right? You want to see their friends out there, right? It's nothing new. It was kind of a weird story to put out there, because like you said, it doesn't really like headline worthy. In fact, they're getting paid for it. It's like, no, they're actually getting paid to be employees. This is one of the things they're tasked with. But
yeah, I'm sure they're watching a bunch of stuff. They're not just like solely dedicated to watching AEW.
Yeah,
right.
That would be rad. Like you said earlier, sign me up. I'd take that job.
I saw a headline and I'm like, pay us.
I'm like 2 hours from Stamford, Connecticut. I could drive into the office to do that job.
Hell yeah.
Do that job from home.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, if somebody would pay me to watch AEW and not pay me to watch Roman Reigns call CM Punk old, and that's like a big shocking moment, I'm in.
Oh my god, the slow agonizing build for WrestleMania.
Is this the worst build of all time?
No, it's just the most recent bad build in a pretty long string of bad builds.
That's fair.
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
I understand a lot of people thought last year's build was great. Or no, 2 years ago. Last year's fell flat.
Yeah.
2 years ago was the ending of the story. Complete
final
story.
boss, yeah.
Yeah, the final boss. But even all that just kind of seemed random and out of nowhere. Like clearly a pivot of let's just throw something out because now we got The Rock for 2 months. They don't build WrestleMania. WrestleMania is not an important event anymore in the scheme of what WWE does. It's another show. And so like the build is never going to be the same because they used to start the builds in the summer, the fall at the latest. It used to be WrestleMania. Every single match had kind of been brewing for months outside maybe one or two one-offs that came together a little bit closer to the show. But that's just not what they do anymore. So WrestleMania build's always going to seem kind of weak because they're not really worried about it. They've got their Netflix TV deal. They're going to put butts in seats. I know I've seen WrestleMania is not selling well. They just put tickets on sale for 3/16 day and moved like 2,000 more. They don't care. It's never going to be what it was. That's just kind of the state of things now.
Yeah, they were 31% off, 31.6% off.
I know. Well, they were stupid expensive for a start, but I disagree with you on one little part of that statement, though. You say it's not it is their big thing. They plan these WrestleManias out a year in advance, right? So they definitely focus everything towards it. It's just everything else around it they don't care about because they know it'll be there, right? Just like you said, the audience will be there. You will have people who will buy this or watch it or tune in or whatever, right? Just because it is WrestleMania. And that's the wrestling that they watch in a calendar year is the WrestleMania, right?
But that's why I'm saying they don't worry about the build or making it special anymore because it is WrestleMania people are going to watch. It's just like the Super Bowl. gets way more ratings than any other game throughout the year because people that don't even watch football are going to tune in for it. So they're not concerned with making it the spectacle it used to be because they're going to just put a bunch of fireworks out, put it in a big stadium, and they're going to tell you every 5 minutes during the broadcast that it's the biggest show of all time and it's the greatest thing you've ever seen, even though it's not.
Yeah, that's a good point. Case in point, they made it official. Oh, you got Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi.
That'll be fun. Hopefully.
That will be fun.
Depends which Brock shows up.
Hopefully. We shall see. We shall see about that.
So there's this guy I follow on TikTok, and for the life of me, I cannot find anything on him, of course, because the moment I'm wanting to find this guy. But he does an amazing Triple H impression.
I know exactly what guy you're talking about, and those videos are weird.
Yeah,
I see him on Instagram, not TikTok, but I know what guy you're talking about. Yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, we're rushing into a new era." Like he does it so perfect. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. This could blow people's minds." It's like, oh my goodness, like he does it so perfect. And then like he recently just did one, and hopefully people on TikTok know who I am. Like if you know who it is, like put it in there. But he just did the one where he was doing Triple H gearing up for WrestleMania, and then Tony Khan talking about Revolution and talking about how he wants people to feel like sick to their stomach watching the main event of Revolution. I really want to syringe. It's like, yeah, I really want to syringe through somebody's like cheek. That's like really cool, you know. Like,
I saw one of that guy's videos. I think it was just the other day where he was like, go to the Triple H rush. He's like, you know, Randy, you attacked my family. This has been a blood feud for months. We're gonna start with chain wrestling.
Like I said, he's the Orange Cassidy.
When you find him, you gotta link him over to me, man. I gotta see that.
Yeah.
If anybody on TikTok knows who that is, put it in the chat so that we can share with the world. Okay. So anything else you boys want to get to this week?
Tatum Paxley's the champion. Go her. She deserves it. She's actually a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And then Mariah May popped out of the stage and pulled her down underneath like the Undertaker.
Yes.
I saw that clip.
Mariah May would be Mariah Kane.
I have thoughts about Mariah May and WWE, but we're gonna reserve those for next week.
Tony Storm was right. That's all I gotta say.
Exactly.
So as
all right, let's just go.
Not just Mariah May specifically, but many of these wrestlers that are really good on the indies and elsewhere, and they go to WWE, they're getting a big paycheck and a steady one, and that's usually what it's about. It's the same thing why Julia has done fuck all since showing up on the main roster, even though she's the Women's United States champion. Like, never defends it. She's eating pins and tags and stuff. And you get frustrated because you're like, that's Julia. Like, why is that all she's doing? But she's getting a worldwide platform and making millions of dollars. And like, for some people, that's the dream, man.
I mean, if I had that, it'd be hard to say no, right?
Yeah. As much as I'd like to see Julia killing people, good for her for making a paycheck to go wrestle a 3-minute tag on SmackDown every 3 weeks.
Dude,
I mean, it's hard because you equate that to your own profession. Okay, so I sell cars, right? Those you don't know, that's what I do, right? So make it to that same equation. It's like, hey JJ, you just gotta sell like 1, maybe 2 cars a month, and we'll give you $250,000. Okay. Yes, I'm on it. Let's go, right? It's hard to say
for
no.
some of them, it's not even that. It's JJ, you're going to come in every day, and you're just going to sit in the break room, drink coffee, eat snacks, and watch TV. And we're going to pay you like you sold whatever your quota was every month. But like that's all you're going to do, because that's basically what they're doing with the former powerhouse Hobbs, who I believe just lost to Otis on main event this week. and is largely just spending catering.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Hey, Austin.
But again, like I'm sure he secured the bag making the jump.
I know.
And like, as much as we want to see those people, if I showed up, they're like, yeah, you don't actually have to work. We're going to pay you a lot of money, but just be around in case we need you for something. Like, cool, boss. I'm head to catering.
Hey, Austin. So, yeah, I know you sell gym equipment and everything, but I want you to hold off on that here. Make sure that you're in for every meeting. Not the whole, you just have to be there at the start of it. So every virtual meeting we do, make sure you're in for it at the beginning. We're good. We'll give you 200, 300,000. You're good.
Yeah, I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. You don't have to do anything. I just gotta sit there. Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So we are not far away from WrestleMania, but we are not far away from Dynasty as well. I know we're gonna get more build from that. So we'll join you. We'll be back next week, same bad time, same bad channel. We have the full accompaniment back. It feels so right. Everything's right in the world here. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If it's your first time joining us, please subscribe, like, follow, share with all your friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Tap the screen. Give us some hearts there. And we'll be back next week. Follow us on them internets at Toto Spotfest. Jamie, take us home, man.
You know what also feels good? What feels right in this world? That the
Take the
belt's
hat
back
off.
in the FWO. So with that, I say, if you're not down Total Spot Fest, I got 6 words for you.
I hate it here.
Another one for the good guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later.
Hey.